Welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with Enchantress, the Babbler, on our evolutionary, revolutionary rise of a high that is happening here at this time. So I'm just gonna go in, guys. All right. Um. Yeah. So I just feel like I just feel like nothing worth having or obtaining is comes easy, so it appears, right? Like the way that just life is and our experiences and stuff like that and whatever. And so sometimes when we're going through like transitions, right, of major transformations in our lives, um we go through the tunnel, right, feeling weird, right? Like awkward, misplaced, right? It's like I don't know what anything looks like, kind of, right? So, but here you are, right? You're like this key to everything, right? I am the elixir. You are the elixir. You are the everything needed for whatever it is that you are growing in your world, right? In our world, right? So, where can I create more space? What can I do to make a difference? Right? These could be themes, questions you're asking yourself now, or the path that you're on in making a difference, right? Figuring it out, finding your niche, your song, your vocals, your genre, your style, right? What can I do to make a difference? You exist, right? And even if, a lot of people were in this conditioned day and age that everybody wants to be seen, right? Because we have this tech craze and this ability now to be seen, right? And so we want it even more so now, right? Before, like when like at least like when I was younger and stuff like that, to get into like to be a star, let's say a celebrity or some sort, or a socialite or something, you either have to like know the right people, like be in the right crowds, the mix and all this kind of stuff to get into that kind of stuff. Or you have to have connections, right? Or um you have to have the connections, or you have to be discovered or something like that, and the chances of you like becoming a celebrity or becoming a superstar were like slim to none, right? And now we're in this digital age. Now flash forward years later, everybody has this opportunity, right? Everybody has this opportunity to be seen. So it's like the underdog, those that have been oppressed, suppressed, or feel once feeling like, "Oh, I never stood a shot," now feels like they do, right? But, like, it's like that, it's that optical illusion of, like, you had to see it this way to see it this way, and meanwhile, it's always been this way. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you might be in the the arena now of discovering your vortex of of truth. And so you could be like, what can I do to make a difference? And well, I could do this. This is from my experience of this. So you might be in the either you're a contributor of such differences, or you're on that path to contributing through your uniqueness that's going to be a filter, a lens, a contribution to the collective, right? That is part of your purpose, your path, your mission. If I feel like, there's people that be like, I'm so lost in, like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my mission is. And they feel bad because they don't have one. You don't have to have one. The fact that you exist is a mission in itself. Mission impossible, I'm possible, right? Mission to get to know you, to live you. Who's to say that this part of your evolution is not to simply enjoy life and all of its experiences that have been bestowed upon you? And granted, it may not be easy, it might be rocky, it might be like turbulent and all this kind of stuff, but the opportunity to be the change that you wish to see in this world, or to breathe and see, or to live and expand, or to just simply um figure it out step by step, day by day. Um that's a gift too, you know? And so what can I do to make a difference? Right? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it? Such that every ounce of you screams, no more. Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Today's soul action. Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. And you have to discover the different fields and the different parts and avenues that interest you, of course. I remember after I had transformed my conditioning of abuse, right? And no longer was subjecting myself to abuse or abusive relationships and things like that. And I had survived, right? I was a victim of abuse and had survived. I was a survivor. And when I was going through my own personal healing and things like that, I got really engrossed in volunteering and being and just finding purpose in my pain. And it feels good, like, but being more instead of, granted, that I've always done and been for people and stuff, but it was different this time. It was like, let me be a part of an organization. Let me surround myself with like-minded people, and put myself in places where these opportunities present themselves and I can be a part of that. So as a New Yorker and stuff, so I had joined like the New York Cures um volunteer organization, New York I got certified in New York hospice, like being a New York City hospice volunteer, things like that. And so I took part in a lot of these things, and what I liked about the New York, I hope I'm saying it right, I'm not butchering it. I'm not a New Yorker anymore, but and doesn't mean that I can't contribute, but I'm just saying this is a time experience in my life um where it was really cool because it had a database, right? So if you're from New York Cares volunteers, right? You have to go through a screening process. You got to get fingerprinted and all this kind of stuff. You got to go to, I think it's a requirement, orientation type thing, and then you become a New York Cares volunteer. And so you're in the system, you're in the database, and so they have in their computer database system all these wonderful volunteer opportunities, with organizations, with companies, with businesses, with anything that is of interest to you. So let's say if you like for me, so this is when I began working with children for yoga, right? Because during this time too, I was also going to school and doing stuff like that. So it was part of my yoga teacher certification, where I was doing where I volunteered through New York City Cares at a school in the city that had a yoga program for preschoolers and stuff like that. So I began my like my work study program doing it like that, where I was also volunteering my time and also gathering yoga teacher certification teaching hours and stuff like that. Like knocking out two birds with one stone, right? Although we don't harm the birds at all. So right, so anyways, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but it is what it is, right? So um so you might be doing stuff like this. You might be looking for places to give some of your free time, or or you might be joining organizations, or being a part in your own community, wherever it is, or signing up for something that is like you in some kind of way that interests you, right? So like, let's say you love reading, maybe you going to your local library and seeing if seeing what kind of stuff, or being seeing where you are and being able to provide certain kind of services, and offering your services too. So this could be like, you could be like, so you see, like, even though before I ever got paid for teaching yoga to children, I was volunteering teaching yoga to children through an organization. So that's how, like, I got one foot through the door, was being part of this New York, mind you, I didn't know about this opportunity, because this opportunity wasn't to the public. It was made through this organization. So I'm just saying, um, you might be p- putting yourself in pockets of arenas now. So it's like no longer being a certain type of, like, so it's like networking too, right? I guess like a certain kind of networking in a way, whether it be online, but also in person, right? Like, so you might be joining a certain type of class, you might be learning a new skill, you might be um, getting a new certification, you might be getting a degree in something, like, you get what I mean? So you're like putting yourself, because you want to take soul action, you want to you want to make the right action and take the right steps towards that which you're building. This could be also um completing a certain, like, let's say getting your yoga certification, right? And now finding a location, or volunteering some of your services to, like, maybe special needs, or things like that, and stuff. I work closely too with special needs children. It was actually part of my training with the Children's School of Yoga. Part of my training before becoming a teacher for them was with a group of special needs children. And so yeah, it's part of my weeklies, like working with special needs kids. So I'm just saying, like, um you could be learning, you could be growing, you could be even expanding your skill sets in whatever it is that you do, but it's like you're offering more now too, because you're confident in you, you're growing your confidence in you, right? You're learning how to to transform through the transmutation process, right? You're learning that, and it requires you to be an active participant in that too. And so consciousness, and being conscious, and being I am conscious and woke, and all that I say and do, think, and therefore feel. And so you're being an active participant in your life for real. It's a lot of stuff that you're dealing with on this holy field. It's just like, okay, a lot of compartmentalizing, a lot of infusing the the parts of the whole that your consciousness sees, right? And so there's just, so look, make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference, and you know this. You know this, and you're growing this, and you're showing this, and it doesn't matter. Like, people could stay stuck in a past. Oh, well, you weren't like this 5 years ago. Oh, well, you weren't like this 10 years ago. Well, I hope not. I mean, not, I hope not. I hope I'm not the same as I was 5 years ago. I'm not even the same person I was 5 minutes ago. So what are you talking about? Right? Because people can get you stuck in a place, and then because your defenses go up, because that's part of your conditioning, right? It's part of your conditioning to become defensive when people shoot you down in that which you are bringing to life, when you're working on you, and And when you feel your soul calling you to make a difference, other people be like, oh, that old Daphne, well, she was over there, he was over there last week, and they were over there not, and they don't even go to church, things like that. So we get crucified, damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. And so it's like, and we're going through all these retrograding, and we're also going through these this Pluto's always going to come up for me, this plutonic plague, we can call it, because it's the transmutation of that which no longer serves the environment. That's why you're seeing a lot of disruption in places on a heavy scale load, because it needs to be transformed. No more, right? How you're gonna keep cycling, right? The hamster wheel, right? Round and round we go. Where we stop, everybody knows, because we just keep going round and round, right? So it's like, so what can I do to make a difference, right? Where can you create purpose out of your pain, out of your struggle, out of your experience? What talent, skills do you have that you want to use and offer? And why do you want to do it? Understanding your understanding is going to be your best for your overstanding, right? So where can I create more space, right? So instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, in your mind, your lungs, and your heart. Take time to just be, right? So it's funny because doing like your own, even like phone detoxes, like we don't, I know I'm speaking from personal experience, I'm not exempt from this. It's like I have to consciously put my phone down and be like, okay, like what did I do before all of this? I did a lot still then. So what makes me think that I still can't do a lot now without having to use my phone for everything? Even payments, right? You got that Apple Pay, be like, click on the side. Like you don't even need to bring a pocketbook. You don't need to bring a debit card. You don't need to bring nothing. You know what I'm saying? Apple, your phone opens your Tesla. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need a key. Got that Nest Home, all this kind of stuff. Working on cameras, working on angles of security, all this kind of stuff. They ring your bell, you see who's there, like all this kind of stuff, all this technology everywhere. And then you can access straight from your phone. Tablets, yeah, I have a tablet, yeah, I have a laptop, yeah, I have all that stuff too, but my phone is the equivalent of all those things too. A computer. And think about how codependent we are upon that. Imagine if that was to be taken away, everything was to crash, systems were to crash. Would your life still exist without technology? Like I know that, let's say if all systems crash and all clients on internet and phone stuff, like you still got people in place that you see in person, which thankfully, right? But what about the online stuff when people make all this money online too? Right? So it's just like, it's just separating from the everything that is really nothing, so that you could connect with the something that is the everything that is you. Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, in your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be, breathe. Right? Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, innermost self. Make space, clarity will come. Right? I try to do stuff too, like they say something like simple, like even just like walking my dog. No phone. Even though I know I do those cute videos, those are when I do have my phone, and that's because that my work schedule is different. Since I have to have my phone. I understand that. I'm not talking about work instances. I'm not saying go against your work schedule and be irresponsible. I'm not saying that. This is about being intentional with your time and the time that you do have and the free time. So like this, let's say the time that you know what, I don't need to take my phone with me on this dog walk. Let's not take it. We got many of those kind of walks. Like it's being intentional, something like that. Like, it doesn't, or when you go take a shower. How many of you bring your phone with you into the bathroom? Let me go use the bathroom without fucking taking my phone with me. You'll be out of that bathroom real quick. Like I'm done. Like, excuse me, did you wash your hands? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to give examples, small examples of how you can detox. It's quality over quantity. I always say that because, sometimes we'll be so hard on ourselves. I didn't even last a day. Go 30 minutes at a time and build your intervals up. Like, you know what I'm saying? 3 minutes. Just be intentional and then be congratulatory towards yourself for the accomplishment of meeting yourself there. That's one of the important things too. Like I do this with the kids too. Like when after yoga in our shavasana state, I remind them, and I'm talking about even, like Greta, I'm not talking like this with the 1-year-olds, but like, the ones that do understand a little bit more, the 4 or 5-year-olds that I teach and stuff like that. Like when we meet in the shavasana place, after all that hard work and exercise, no matter how they form. And let me tell you something, I have kids that get upset because they cannot do a certain kind of pose the way that they see me doing it, or that the way that they want to make it last. Like it doesn't, like, like let's say tree pose. Let's go with a common tree pose. Like I have kids that and the encouragement and the feedback that I give them, I'm like, it's okay. That's why we're practicing. I'm like, the more that we practice, the better we will become. You just have to be patient with yourself. Don't get frustrated. Don't, like whatever. But one of the important things that I like to bring into their conscious awareness during Shavasana immediately is the moment that we lay down and we're going to close our eyes and we're going to do all this kind of Shavasana kind of cool stuff that they all look forward to. Right? It's one of the most quickest when it's like, okay, everybody lay down, we're going to go into Shabbat. Them kids, sometimes some of the kids, because they get tired of me, especially the older ones, when I work them, they're like, I'm tired. But, we laugh at that too, because I'm like, how are you tired? No, we're gonna do some more yoga. But it's just funny because, whatever. Anyways, but when we meet in Shavasana, the moment we lay down, I'm like, oh, this is our wonderful opportunity to thank ourselves right now for doing such an amazing job in our yoga practice. Every single time we do our yoga, we get better and better, and whatever it's anyways, it's just bringing into their consciousness the wonderful effort that they put in that quality of time that we spent together practicing our yoga together. And I think that's important. I think that's important to acknowledge the effort you put in, even if it's for 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds of time well spent. You get what I'm saying? And so yeah, for whoever that's for. You know how I go off on my little tangents and stuff. So sorry, my butt cheeks. So So when you receive these messages too, for those of you that are mothers, I don't really go into, like, you never really hear me post about holidays or say like, let's say like Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. I mean, if you say it to me, I'll say it to you. Um, because I don't really I'm not I'm not saying I've never celebrated those things. I'm not saying that I don't still do things like exchange gifts and stuff like that. It's just for me, my whole evolution of what these things are and my placement in it. Like I used to get crazed for holidays and all this kind of stuff and do the human thing, the human condition thing. But it's no longer like that for me anymore, and I don't really I don't celebrate anything, whatever. Like I celebrate every day, you know what I mean? So, but as a mother, and because of my relationship with my own mother and having that to have been cut short, and also having the massive quantum healing from that, because I remember after my mom died, um every Mother's Day after that was awkward for me because everybody's in school coloring and drawing and making stuff for their mothers, and I'm here like I'm not doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? My mother is not getting one of these. Like, you get what I mean? So um and so when we grow from our pain, and anyways, I just think fathers too, like, I'm not saying fathers are not important, but right now as a mother, I am a mother, and so I want to celebrate mothers everywhere, especially those of you that are really there for your children, and you absolutely are the angels that they need in their life, and that angelic mama dragon, mama bear, but like sovereign being to your children, and happy Goddess Mother's Day. That's all I have to say to the beautiful mothers out there that are raising marvelous quantum beings that are lucky to freaking have you. And so I just want to say happy Mother's Day to whomever is tapped in, turned on, tuned in with me right now, and you happen to be a mother, or you will be a mother, or you are, you don't even have to have children to be motherly. You could be motherly to, like, even me with all the kids and stuff, although they don't look at me like a mother because they think I'm young. They usually think I'm a teenager. They ask me, "How old are you? 18?" I'm like, "Yeah." But that's not what I say because I reduce everything down to a singular digit anyway. So I'm 5, right? And they're like, "I'm 5. No, I'm 5." So anyways, but anyway, so that's usually the debate between me and the kids and the age stuff, but they're pretty funny. But they don't think of me like a mother. If I even say I have a daughter, they're like, "No, you don't." Like, yes, I do. 'Cause, like, whatever. Anyways, so I do wanna say to all you beautiful mothers out there, you're beautiful, you're needed. Your kids are lucky to have you, and it's such a wonderful gift. Like, I feel like if there's anything that I do in this world that's right, is that is being a mom. I get really emotional, but I love being a mother, and let's do, I haven't done this in a little while. Let's heal this divine feminine mothering energy, especially for those of you that may want children. I get a lot of that, especially with clients and stuff like that, healing the womb, and doing a lot of Reiki kind of healing and stuff like that, and it works. Okay. But let's heal the mother womb, right? All trauma, all drama, right? For those that um are challenged with creating life, may their wounds heal. May their vessels be a safe incubation for their beautiful growing babies. Healing all mother relationships that are hurt or hurting, that need quantum healing and forgiveness. Healing generational line of mothering that may have been negative. Identifying them as we need for our healing, so that transmutation may begin for transformation. I'm gonna have to blow my nose. I get emotional, I'm sorry. So we're healing that, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so am I ready to let go of this buried shame? The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Today's soul action: heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. Fill in the blank. My soul's truth is, I am shame free. Right? But I do like that. It's revival season. I think that's gonna be the title, so I'm gonna put that over there. It's revival season, and this might be a wham bam thank you, ma'am, because I do have to go. But it is such a pleasure being here with you guys. I want to thank you so much for being tapped in, turned on, tuned in, for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with me, for subscribing, for liking this video, for liking my videos, for sharing, for commenting, for engaging with me, for communicating with me, for helping me support and grow, for supporting my channel and helping me to grow it. I am so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I've been on YouTube for quite some time, and so it feels good to know that I didn't have any kind of direction with where I was going, but I knew it was like a documentary, right? There's over 2K legacy videos left here, for those that it'll be for, on their evolutionary journey. You can see my own journey being documented from when I first started recording till now, and seeing the evolution of that and all the videos being made when we were talking about making a difference, right? I created my YouTube channel to help other people break free from their own limiting conditionings and boundaries and limitations that they block themselves from ever breaking free because of their conditioning, because of their behavioral patterns and conditioning. May my free invigorate your free to be free, and that's what started it. To connect with beautiful souls all across this world, all across the globe, right? That may feel like I do, and may and who feel alone and unsupported, especially by those that they would love to be supported by. I hear my cat screaming. I'll be right back. Andromeda, I'm coming! She's going crazy. It's important to know, right, that the universe has your back, right? And so I'm here to remind you of that right now too. again, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you. You could also find me on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. That's me, the one and only. You could also find me on TikTok, Alchemistic Poetess. You can also connect with me at witchyutopian.com. All the information will be available in the description box of all my videos. And if for whatever reason you ever come across a video that there is nothing in the description box, just go to a previous video that has everything in the description box, and you can see the master link that's shared over there too, that connects us on every single available platform that we can connect on. Also check out my Amazon shop. In my Amazon shop, I share with you all things that I love and that I have and that I use and that I absolutely recommend. There will be nothing that I would recommend on Amazon that I don't absolutely love or like or would use myself. So yeah, so definitely go check it out. There's so many different things going on. There's going to be a lot more. There's different playlists too. Definitely always check out my community board. Even if I don't post a video, I will post something usually in my community board. I like to be funny. I consider myself to be a funny person. I'm an evolutionary humorist. I use a lot of satire in my own developments and evolution. Um, I am the loving energy of the universe, though, you know what I'm saying? Let's be clear about that, right? But either way, thank you so much. Yeah, all right. So the universe has your back, and don't you ever forget it. Okay, the universe has your back. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. I love that. Oh my gosh. So you know what teaches me this? And this, I'm gonna try not to get emotional because then I get stuffy and then I gotta go blow my nose again. So dancing. I cannot tell you how many times I just like I'll dance, right? And it's usually like I don't know the names of stuff, but like it's lyrical. It's it's whimsical. It's just dance. You don't need to. It's not dance. I'm dancing with my how I'm moved to dance. So when I have those kind of um experiences where I'm I'm one with the music, right? Rhythm, body, beat. And it's without fail. And I don't know how to explain it except that this is what fucking happens after I'm done and you come to. I just fall like to my knees. It's like prayer. It's release. And I'm just crying, like, and it's not bad. It's not like, oh my God, boo hoo hoo, everything sucks. It's absolute pure like surrender. Do you ever do that? Like sing your heart out and then after just cry hysterically like that? Like you get what I mean? Yeah. Let me tell my sniffles. My ankle's getting so much better. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. That might be hard, right, to do, right? Especially when you have hangups too, or forgiveness to work on. But so I use the example of like my grandma, right, and my relationship with her, and how I feel bad saying it like this, but there was a time in my life that I hated that woman. Like I say it so nonchalantly now, like because it really like I have no ounce of that feeling anymore. but it existed and it was real. And me and that lady was at war for the first half of my freaking life. At war. And it started before my mother died, because my mother was at war with her too. I despised her, didn't like her, and had no sympathy, no compassion, no nothing. Like, I met my cold nature with the way that I felt about this woman. I didn't care. And I didn't think, and if you would have asked the me back then about the future of me right now and saying, oh, how I love my grandma and we get like we're okay and all this kind of stuff, I would laugh at that blasphemy. I'd be like, yeah, okay. Psh, what alternate reality is that? Because sure as hell ain't this one. So I just want to share, like, because I don't expect you to know my life, and I don't expect you to have heard every single YouTube video to know what I'm referencing or talking about, because I have talked about it. So that's why you gotta watch all my videos. I know they're long and I know, whatever, but you don't have to watch them all at once. You can watch them in parts. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to share with you. So the example that I'm giving. So when I wanted to shift that, when I wanted to change that, when I was changing the relationship that I have with myself and the peace I needed to make within me, I came up with having to be intentional. So I wanted to grow in my liking for her, because I wanted to see the good, if there could be, because there could be good, right? It's not a horrible person, like, you know what I mean? I'm growing in my own maturity. I can see that. I don't want to feel this way about this woman, right? I'm growing in my evolution. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to have this animosity. I don't want to hate somebody. So whenever I would see her, I would look for things I can compliment her on that were genuine. I was looking for things to like about her. And guess what? I found them. And when I would find them, the job was not just to find them, it was to tell her, right? Oh, yeah. What? Tell the woman? Yeah. Because she should know that. And because I see it. So to be like, like I'm giving an example. Oh, grandma, your hair looks beautiful. I meant it. I'm not phony. I'm not gonna tell, like, I'm not gonna I don't kiss nobody's ass. I guess that's the Sagittarius quality of me. I kiss nobody's ass. I don't give a fudge, right? So if I'm complimenting, like, I'm genuine when I say something. I don't need to tell you anything, and if I don't want to, I won't. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to explain, right? And my grandmother knows me very well. She raised me too. She had a hand in my raising, especially after my mother died. So I kid you not, it transformed everything when I became intentional about my shifts and what I wanted to do. So I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone, my grandma, for the first time with the eyes of love. And it fucking worked. Transform, flash forward X amount of years later. You should hear how this woman talks about me. It was funny because my cousin, not too long ago, she was like, oh, but grandma only has nice things to say about you. I'm like, because um this cousin of mine is way younger than me, right? She's she's in her 20s, right? She's way younger than me, so she missed the whole part of my life because I'm the oldest first cousin, right, of that group. And so, because my mom had me at 16 and my dad was a teenager too. So these first cousins of mine weren't born till years later. Me and my sister were the first that were born. So we have a whole lifetime lived before our other first cousins were born. My other first cousins are closer to my daughter's age. You get what I'm saying? Like they're my daughter's age bracket. The 20s. You get what I'm saying? So this group of first cousins, it's just on face that they missed the whole war that existed because they weren't even born yet. And by the time they were born, a lot of that shit fizzled, sizzled out, fizzled and changed. So she's like, oh, but grandma just, I was like, girl, you have no idea about the World War Z, me and that woman would have, and how it was never like that. She never spoke about me like that. Trust me when I say. And she was kind of shocked a little bit by that because her mother confirmed for her the truth to my validation of that statement, like for real. So it just goes to show when you want to really change something, you can. If you want to have excuses about something, you will. You know what I mean? Hope is the conduit for miracles, right? Hope is the conduit for miracles. What are you doing? A big belly? Oh my goodness. We're not body shaming over here. Her little pudgy little Rose over there is the most cutest thing, and she knows it. There is no body shaming, okay? But we all should be living healthy, wealthy, stealthy, as healthy as we should be and could be for ourselves. And that's going to be different for everybody. But as long as you're healthy and not in denial about that either, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like in how you care for yourself. We have medical conditions, people have medical conditions and things that are beyond their if you've been diagnosed with certain kind of ailments or things and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they can't go away. I'm not saying they can't be cured. I'm not saying anything like that. But when I'm just saying, I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about when you're caring for your vessel intentionally, right? In healthy ways. That's a different lifestyle. It's way different. It's way different. Joy is the ultimate creator, right? My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Universe has your back. Definitely. And if you like a lot of the decks that I use and stuff like that, I do have in my Amazon shop a tarot inspired shop that shares with you a lot of the different kind of tarot oracles that I do use that you will like. If you like some of the stuff that I use and the things that I use and you want to know the names of certain kind of things, then you would definitely like my Amazon shop, and you should definitely go check that out, especially if you're into tarot oracles and things like that, or little nail stickers and things like that, or where I get some of my stuff and things like that, and things like that. Including fashion, especially when you like how I dress and stuff like that. Most people think I look cute when they see me in person and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm sharing even fashion over there too. So definitely go check that out. Happiness is my birthright. I like that. Happiness is my birthright. And it's revival season. Happiness is my birthright. I think I'm gonna name this that. Right? say that, right? My soul truth is happiness is my birthright. My soul truth is happiness is my birthright. I like that too.
What happened? Oh, yeah? And what else?
Energy flows where my intention goes. And we were just talking about that. Okay. Energy flows where my intention goes. That's worth repeating. Energy flows where my intention goes. So if you want to change the flow of something, your energy flows where your intentions go. So like that thing I was saying about with my grandmother, shifting the energy and the way that the past may have created the now. I wanted to shift that now that wasn't at peace with me, and I wanted to create peace. And during that transition time, that shit looked awkward. That shit was a weird place to be. And I got triggered quite a lot. Because of course that's going to happen, right? That's like the test, right? For your testament, right? Why do you have a test for your testament? Whew. I'm glad I passed those tests. Because it's a better place to be now in her energy too, because when you understand certain kind of energies, especially in our spiritual community, when we think about witchcraft or the way that things go and what things people do and stuff, and blue hoo 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 ha ha ha, right? And how witchy people can be. My grandmother's no exemption, but she's a key to many of those kind of things. Don't get my grandma mad. Don't make her think about you negatively, because she's a focused woman, right? That'd be that Taurus energy, okay? Stubborn like a bull. Don't get into their bullseye, right? Anybody here got a Taurus grandma? Don't go into their bullseye, okay? Mm-mm. You want to be on their good side. So I'm glad to be on my grandma's good side. It wasn't always that case. She's my Nanny McPhee. I really do believe like in that type of thing. When I saw Nanny McPhee for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's me and my grandma. That's the lesson. We all have lessons to learn, all her grandchildren and stuff like that. And she's there. She might appear to be a certain type of way, a certain kind of thing, but it was like, oh my gosh, you should have seen the epiphany after epiphany after epiphany after epiphany I had after seeing that movie, Nanny McPhee. Okay. Okay. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. And I love that for you. All right. So thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. Till next time. Come again.